Hello! Alright, so a couple changes since last time. Went back and forth to Celia and back. Didn't end up really getting much out of that, but picked up some new recruits for later, since, just in case there are any casualties over the course of the next few fights. Like to have some backups sitting here. So, let's see, these we already had. These are the two that were recruited from last fight, and then we got Crossback. Bringing his sheer unmitigated suck to this thing. We got the Vita, because, quite frankly, the fact that these things have, potential load of features, but generally seem like they would just get squashed by everything around them, kind of reminded me of the Vita. We got Laser Pope, because why the hell not, and then Gunhaver, because why the hell not? Get one of the Cheat Commandos and get one of the friggin' Laser Pope. I have no idea why, it just kind of came to mind. Alright, so let's end Chapter 2. Or get into Chapter 2, rather. So, I'm not a huge fan of these ones, these eliminate all fights. They just have a tendency to become more tedious than anything else. So you're limited to 7 units, but get some of the nice music going here. Alright. Probably just gonna have my A-team going in. Everyone else can just kind of train up in the background, so not really much sense to do anything other than that. And as before, basically broke as hell, so, well, can't exactly afford armor for most of these guys, but at least some of them have something. In retrospect, I really probably should have hired Ariel and, taken her stuff before firing her, but I guess we were feeling nice that day. We won't make that mistake again. He also found his machine gun. Start this thing off with Steve. Oh, he's actually going to be taking all of these. He's supposed to be the one that basically lives forever, so might as well get his health up so that he can actually take some hits. 174, yeah, that's decent. Compared to the others that are like 160. Meh. Basically, each one of them just raises it by 5, so it's not the most amazing thing in the world, but it'll do. Personally, I think this system is just far and beyond better than the card system. Really don't know why they kept that in. Because, it's kind of fun to collect cards and all that, but it's just, you never really had any control over who got what. Then you ended up getting, like, the friggin' card drop, and if you wanted to get stat for a particular unit, you had to walk them all the way across from the other side of the map. Like, oh, I finally got an intelligence drop, let me go drag this slow as crap old man all the way, 3 miles this way to actually pick this thing up. Like, why can't it just be an item? This is convenient. This is a good way of doing it. They're still super limited. And you're kind of left with the option of having any money whatsoever and basically raising the stats of your people. And you can get by very well just selling them all. Actually, it's kind of funny because since there's kind of few ways to grind, it's good balance, I think. Now, before you say it, I know you can go do the random fights, but then you're also risking potentially losing someone. Or you go do the quest mode. I guess that one's free, but those are pretty difficult. At least by the time you end up getting particular items, they can be difficult. So, pretty soon here, we're going to be running into the Nemida chronology, which is the point of, not Nemida, but the other one. Whatever, second tier of the whole quest thing, at which point it'll be possible to go and get pumpkins. That's fun. Also, these guys' fist damage isn't dropping off as much as I would have thought it would. Oh, actually one more thing I didn't show. He got War God. Also, it just occurred to me that my mouse has been here this whole time. Sorry. Yeah, Berserk. So, that just basically increases luck, and then... Oh, yeah. Oh, so this one's a bad one, but here's War God. So he's way stronger. And if I were to give him a weapon, well, crazy stuff would happen. Don't have one of those at the moment. Now, if I recall correctly, this is the fight where you'd end up fighting Lobina and potentially recruiting her, but... that just not to be the case. Alright, now I don't like how low Steve has gotten, so the bird has to go. It should only be next round that we have to worry about a lot of attacks, so we can get some free damage in while we're here. Unfortunately, this one always seems to come with a lot of very tough units. Especially these bird a-holes. Probably gonna end up relying on their Uzi powers. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yelissa, you suck. That's why I don't use you very often. Yep, that is a war bow. That did somehow less than plink damage. Alright, let's have Tia. Nah, she can't finish off that one. Spread some damage around then. These ones won't heal, I'm pretty certain, though. Alright, who lives and who doesn't? Oh, fantastic, they're going for her. And if she gets killed off, that's basically game over right there. That's not great. I guess a lot of people are doing their laundry today. There's doors slamming all over the place. Alrighty, yeah, it's not looking too hot here. The birds have to go first. Those guys hopefully won't be much of an issue because they're so frickin' slow. The Cerberus might be because it puts people to sleep, but I'm hoping to put lands in its way. Worst case scenario, he can take the brunt of it. Best case scenario, it'll just miss him entirely because he's apparently just, I don't know, he's some kind of Matrix character at this point. But whatever. Alright, so they've got their Uzi powers now. Can you end this guy, please? Well, I mean, it's an improvement. Yeah. It takes several of them to take out one guy. On the plus side, Astoria might become laughably easy. Okay, it's because of the lava, that's why she was having a hard time getting a shot off on this guy. Or Steve, rather, not she. Steve is a guy, or is he? I don't know, it's kind of unclear at this point. The lines have been muddied. Alright, what can you do? What's the creepy charm move thing, so probably have Kung Fury go take care of that. Because they won't have enough to take out the Birdman. Alright, move Tia in to kind of fill in this gap. I love that this is so cheap. That feels ludicrously imbalanced, actually. Like, I know that's their main form of viable attack at this point. But for how good that is, that feels really cheap. Like fairy SWAT team going after this guy. Sir, do you have any idea how fast you were flying? Can you imagine if just like real-life SWAT teams showed up with like a bunch of tiny flying people? Yeah, you'd be terrified. What have I possibly done to deserve this? Oh wow. He must have hit him with his 1% chance to hit. Kind of unfortunate that he died to that, though, because now... If he's... No, I think it's the other one with the Thunder Shield. Please, Cerberus, go somewhere else. Thank you. Oh... Yeah, you did not need to aim there. No sleep? No sleep. Alright. And thankfully... Cerberus's, Cerbri, whatever, they're not terribly good. How much this does? Some. Also some. I was kind of hoping it would do a little bit more than that, but oh well. Granted, there's no need to risk a hit there, but oh well. And I'll gladly take that healing item off your hands. There we go, Steve ending that guy, presumably doing some kind of weird fairy drive-by. Ooh, 63s. They start doing actual damage or something. Yeah, I gotta say, these guys are not the prey anymore. This has gotten out of hand. I'm currently already planning the run for Lucked, but it's gonna be it's probably gonna require some cheats, to be honest. Because I already know to get Steve in there, I'm gonna have to get one of the renaming hacks. Alright, Kung Fury's an iffy shape, but actually no, let's heal her up. Largely because I don't want this item to get stolen. Since we're getting pretty close to being able to get a Snapdragon, and I want to get every upgrade item that I can. Just want to point out, so Glycinia and Labina's, like, friggin' combo move, what is the point? I mean, these guys are doing plenty as it is. There's absolutely no point in that thing. In case you weren't aware, basically their special there is pretty much... Well, they have to be standing next to each other. They do like a combo nuke move, more or less. So it's like an AoE attack of, you know, this right here. And it does a fair bit of damage, but it also takes off half their health. So it's a finisher and nothing else. Like, if by any, you know, by any means they're left out in the open after doing that, they will die. I mean, their health is so low, especially late game, that there's no way they're surviving anything past that. Alright, so, you're gonna join the pelting fun. Break out the fairy firing squad. Actually, most of them will be waiting a turn, because they need to reload their fairy Uzis. Embodiment of Desires. Okay. I guess the main worry at this point is for Margaret not to have a whole lot of resistance on her, because I've never actually tried this method. I always either knock her off of the wall or, you know, end up going in with melee units and just beat the hell out of her, so we'll see. This is so ridiculous looking. But that coffee's so delicious! Gotta love that stuff. I know, I've never mentioned this whatsoever. Whoever would have figured. But yeah, no, delicious coffee is delicious. Alright, Eleanor, way to be useful over there. Yeah, I mean, they can all take hits. Except for Potato, who's gonna run over here. Who will change his name every 5 seconds because I can't stick to one. Yep, such is life. Okay. Let's get you all in here. Gonna have you take this item. Theoretically, I should probably wait on that, but eh. What's the worst that can happen? Steve not having another cup of life, that's what's the worst that can happen. Just sitting there chugging them all day. Right, and this is taking a worrying amount of turns, and he's still above 200. Right. So... yeah. Hopefully those two won't get crispied. He should be fine. And these guys seem to be stuck in their 40s, so... we'll see. And giving them a lot of different opportunities here, so hopefully they'll take... hopefully they'll take a couple different ones. Why did that work that way? That's not how that should have worked. Alright, let's fix this then. Nope, 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 not that one. Actually, you'll still survive it. I have no idea why it worked that way. Alright. Yeah, they should be fine. And I got a little bit of damage out of it, too. Yeah, very fine. There we are, and... yeah, you still do your thing over there, champ. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, they're gonna need to reload a little bit soon. Not as long as one of them's gone, they're both gone. Have Steve lead the charge. Just swarm the hell out of this thing. Like I said, this is why I don't really care for eliminate all type of fights, frankly, in any of these games. Because it just becomes more tedious than anything else. Because it's not like, well, you know, checkmate, won the thing. Now, can we move on to the next one now? It's like, no, you gotta hunt them all down. Even though this one dragon probably just wants to go about eating friggin' children or whatever he does for a regular friggin' hobby. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe he's refusing to let us leave because he sees all these, like, flying little chicken nuggets. He wants some of that. Despite the fact that they're all shooting him, but meh. Kind of like the scene from RoboCop, except reenacted with fairies and dragon. I don't want to see somebody Photoshop that together now. If you were ever wondering what that would look like, it's something like this. Alright, one more hit to end him. Didn't even look where their health was, because I'm assuming they won't really get hurt much. Alright, Steve. Who still has ammo here? He's got 22, so one punch should hopefully finish him. Alright, Steve will go up and make a peace offering here. You want to join us? 4%? Speaking of 4%, recently was watching this kind of Brazilian show apparently called 3%. It's funny because I was kind of curious why I was lagging for a while. And it turns out it wasn't lagging, it was just dubbed in English. But yeah, it's kind of an interesting concept for a show in which you have like most of humanity in like utter crap poverty over there. Yeah, Tania, there's the book I was talking about. But yeah, and then you have pretty much all the cool crap and all the medicine and everything else off on an island. And the whole idea is that they have this process people have to go through, and it kind of starts off as like relatively easy puzzles and logic tests and things like that. Oh yeah, Father of the Year over here. Friggin' coming over and slapping his kid. And showing up with an army, because reasons. But yeah, so they have this process supposed to go through there, and like over time it turns into weird saw crap and everything else. And then they just completely don't even bother ending it. Like, they set up this whole thing of like, there's a couple of spies and everything. Also, by the way, freaking Alphonse could totally take all three of these a-holes. I don't know why they're making a big deal of this. Also, where's the Fairy Brigade? Maybe they're all in Lance's pocket. But yeah, no, so it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And so they have two of the characters that are spies, and they finally tell you who those spies are. And, like, one of them gets captured, and then the other one just, like, the last scene is they're just looking happily at a sunset, and then it fades to black. Like, what's the assumption there? Did he get captured too? Why did they bring him all the way out there and then suddenly do something about it? But, anyway, I don't know. Like, there was no actual ending to the thing. They never actually show this place they were all trying to get into. Most of every... Oops. Well. Don't know what the hell I just selected, but I don't think this choice actually affects anything. Oh well. Yeah, I would. Now we get those, sweet Zelda-esque cutscenes. I love these. Like the way they handle them and all that. They got the old-timey artwork and everything. See, this kind of old tapestry stuff, they should have done that more in the Lucked remake. Also, this thing right here, depending on who made it or who didn't, this can actually have a few different layouts. But yeah, like normally there's a wizard there on the left. There would just be, I think, a knight in Ivana's place. But I would always make sure to have one of each of those in my party up to this point. Whenever I was playing this game over and over growing up, it was like I like to imagine that those are my guys at the table, you know. Because all it says is just like scout and friggin' soldier or whatever. They'll pretty much say the same stuff. Yeah, I wish more games would kind of slot in just your random generics and stuff like that. Whenever you have scenes like this. But such a thing is hard to program, I guess. I think the closest I've seen to that is, frankly, a lot of the cool tropes as far as strategy games went. I think I've seen done really well in War of the Chosen. That's XCOM 2's expansion there. Like, specifically, they, like, okay, with slotting in your soldiers and stuff like that, their way of getting around it was essentially by just having a list of personality types, and then they would... It was a combination of personality types and attitude. and you would just basically combine those two, and it had like a list of different things that you could that would end up being said off that combination of how they did stuff. You know, it changed their posture. It would, you know, change their whole character more or less. But it was a really cool way of doing it. Like, they ended up adding like a semi-relationship system with bonds and stuff like that. So you didn't have the whole like Fire Emblem thing of pairing off all your dudes. It was just literally like, these two are basically friends now. These two are better friends now. These two are totally gonna die for each other now. And then the next turn they get friggin' eaten by a muton or something. But still, it was a really cool way of doing it. But at any rate, that's that. This right here is going to be the main goal. Where the story goes at this point, you have Vespa, which is a Beastmaster fight. That one's probably... I'm probably going to go down this route first. Then you go over here to... Dang it, just go. To Blaza, you recruit Elric, and then at that point it'll be possible to get a Snapdragon there. Crap, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that Fireball. Kinda need it. Well, whatever, I'll buy another one. And then, yeah, you go back here, you get a Zombie Forest, and then you go down here with Elric, and then you fight Euphrey. You get them too. I guess there's not really too much of a point to hiring them, other than the point that I can hire them. So why not? And they kind of have extra stuff at the ending, so why not? You know what? There are a couple extra fights, it's more interesting than grinding. Anyway, see you next time.